So what does research and theorists say about English language learners? Well, I'm sure you guys have heard of Lev Vygotsky. He created a theory of learning called social constructivism. That's basically his belief was that children learn as a result of their social interactions with others. So his concept known as zone of proximal development refers to the ideal level of task difficulty to facilitate learning. So basically, students learn best when taught at the level where they can work with some help. This little picture right here is a great example that defines zone of proximal development. To also help you better understand Vygotsky's work, I wanted to include this video.
Lev Vygotsky was a Russian developmental psychologist whose major contributions to the field and education occurred between the early 1920s and mid to late 1930s. While Vygotsky was only able to provide roughly a decade of work, his contributions are ever present in today's classrooms. As a developmental psychologist, Vygotsky focused a great deal on not only the development of children, but the learning processes involved in their development. According to Vygotsky, learning happens because we interact with the environment. Further, he believed that we do not learn because we have developed, rather, we develop because we have learned. In short, learning precedes development. Learning new things enhances our developmental level. However, in order to learn, we must be presented with tasks that are just out of reach of our present abilities. Tasks that are too simple or already within our present abilities do not promote learning. On the other hand, tasks that are too complex become frustrating, and no learning occurs. Vygotsky believed that those tasks which are just beyond our present ability exist in what he called the zone of proximal development. The tasks in the zone of proximal development are the things we can almost do ourselves, but need help from others to accomplish. After receiving help from others, we will eventually be able to do them on our own, thus shifting them out of our zone of proximal development. In other words, we have learned something. Here is an example. Little Johnny cannot swim. If he tried to teach himself to swim, he would most likely drown. However, if Johnny enlists the help of a swimming instructor, he will soon be able to learn to swim. In this scenario, swimming would be considered to be within Johnny's zone of proximal development. Why? Because it is a task he cannot accomplish on his own, but he can accomplish with the encouragement and guidance from someone else. Okay, so how does the concept of the zone of proximal development factor into the roles of today's teachers? Simple. The subject matter that teachers are going to teach our students falls within their zone of proximal development. Our students are able to learn the content. They just need guidance and encouragement from a teacher in order to do so. As teachers, we must be conscious of the fact that every student has a different zone of proximal development. In modern educational jargon, this means differentiation. Educators must design lesson plans that cater to the zone of proximal development for each of their students in order to avoid boredom and/or frustration in the classroom. The take-home message? Every student learns differently, but more importantly, every student can learn. They just need the help of a teacher.
Another idea in Vygotsky's social constructivism is scaffolding. This is basically when an educator slowly changes the level of support children, including ELLs, English language learners, learn during experiences within the zone of proximal development as a result of scaffolding. In addition, Vygotsky's idea of zonal proximal development relates closely to differentiating instruction, like the video says. The zone of proximal development is when students are given the opportunity to learn at their own individual level. Well, the same theory guides differentiating instruction. Therefore, when teaching ELLs, educators need to be mindful of each student's zone of proximal development and to continue to scaffold instruction as well as task in order to keep students at that level. Another great theorist is a doctor named Stephen Krashen. He's an expert in the field of linguistics and specializes in theories of language acquisition and development. Krashen's theory of second language acquisition states that second language development is more a matter of acquisition than of learning through formal methods. Therefore, language acquisition does not require extensive use of grammar rules and this tedious drill. And in order to help you gain a better understanding, I have incorporated another video. Therefore, both Vygotsky and Krashen believe that learning, especially with English language learners, result as a function of interacting and communicating with others. I also would like to add that a great deal of research shows that vocabulary development is one of the most important skills students need to acquire to become English proficient. But since one of our classmates already went over vocabulary and the importance of that, I did not share that in this presentation or in the Nearpod, but please be mindful of that.